uni, I just thought was really pushing me back.
And there's something else I'm going to go on to. So I suppose before, when you didn't realise the sort of black creative community that you had around you, you thought that probably academia or university was the only way to get a chance. But after getting like kicked out of university, how did you manage to kind of do it all on your own? What advice would you give to people that have been kicked out or decide to drop out of university but still want to work in the creative industry? What would you tell them?
Okay. All right.
Or what would you tell yourself when you was in that sort of
Well, the thing is,
stage?
I already, like, all right, so first time I went uni, I left. That was in Nottingham. And I left because I felt the energy around me. I was like, great town, great city, whatever, you know, great people. But I was like, I just don't feel like I'm making enough noise here. Or the noise I would make here would go further. So I was like, I come to London. Then I came to London, studied the same degree. And 6 months within that, got into a few issues with uni, but I was very attentive in class, so I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed class. Like I don't knock uni. Like education is key, and it's a luxury. But I was looking around me, and I was getting put into groups and all these things, and I was like, not to say I don't work well in an ensemble or group, but I was like, we're all here trying to.
Bit forced.
I just understood where my potential was.
Yeah.
Like I was quite assured of it already. So I was like, So with that energy, I was a few issues were going on with uni anyway, and then they kicked me out of my accommodation, and then I was like, you know what, I'm just leaving. So this is where all the little gems come in, right? So I took the rest of my student loan, and I bought a camera. I bought a Canon 5D. That's
good. You're like investing back into yourself.
Yeah, big time. Because I was like, okay, with this money here, I can either just like go and spend it elsewhere,
just go out,
or let me do something serious with it, right? So I bought a Canon 1D Mark IV. I remember doing that, right? Yeah. And then, and I remember it was just coming into summer, so I'd met like a few models here and there, a few friends, and then they started bringing me to parties, so I started shooting people, shooting just everything. It wasn't even only the parties I was just shooting absolutely everything. But I just set up a few like boundaries and a few milestones for myself that I wanted to accomplish day by day. So whether that came through my photography, if I was taking a photo, like this is the thing now, I still have this mentality, but every single photo I take has to be better than the last one. Yeah, it has to be better. You're like in competition with your past self, basically. Consistently, you know, and turn that slightly into an obsession.
Right, we're going to get into some music, and then we're going to continue this conversation. So right now, I am going to press play on Head Noise by Martin Inc., and then we're going to get back into some more interviewing.
Yay!
We're back in the room. I've got Abdouraham and Njie live in the studio, aka Yagamoto, aka Yaga, aka greatness only. That's a little phrase that we like to say. So we were talking about university before, and how you went from starting off a course to deciding that you'll be better off outside, sort of navigating the creative scene on your own. But you sort of had like a full circle moment. You went from getting kicked out to actually now teaching movement directing in universities. So can you tell me a bit about the stuff that you're now teaching at university?
Alright, so a good friend of mine, Nish, she saw that all the movement that I was doing, the movement direction I was doing was picking up, and she thought that bringing me into her university that she lectures in, UCA, University of Rochester, that I would be a fine example to the students there and just help them navigate through some things. So practically, so she brought me in for a session, and then what that entails is that I like do a presentation, and then after that a workshop. So I teach the students how to characterize their emotions. So basically characterize their emotions, their feelings into movement. And then they capture it on cameras. Do you think they can relate to you because they know that you're someone that's kind of around their age group, you've been for university, and now, like, do you find that it's more relatable for them than having someone that's like completely far removed away
from them?
I think in the regards of my age, like being in the same age group as well, I'm 24, turning 25 in July, and the age range goes from like 18 to 50. The oldest student I've taught is like 54. I think that they can relate to what I'm saying, because I've been there. I've been in the exact seat that they've been in.
Yeah.
And I do make that. I literally. So basically, what I do is I start up and I tell them that I dropped out of uni, etc. And then what I'm just telling you essentially, and then how I came through the industry and how I used just like bits of initiative here and there, and like I had a long journey of sofa surfing, and because the thing is, in answer to your question, like there's a lot of misjudgment about the industry, you know, like for example, not being signed to an agency. I remember that feeling. I remember wanting to be signed, and then and then fortunately I was signed to Njie agency. Who
I feel like you were their favourite boy at Njie agency. I feel like they loved Abdou. Like he was on the cover of like their website, everything. They just literally loved him so much. So what advice would you give to people that feel like, for example, you know, their relationship with their agency isn't going well and they're thinking of going independent? What would you tell them?
Well, the thing is, it's just that you have to like be practical about what you're doing in all terms of life. And I think for me, the agency, I've been signed to an agency and they've provided me jobs, etc. But I've always, for example, like there may be like a week where you're not booked. There may be 2 weeks. There may be a month. God forbid. But
that can happen, doesn't it?
If that does happen. I've always had things to fall back on. So like my photography, my filmmaking.
Yeah, you haven't left just one job.
Because that's the thing. Is so when you leave yourself exposed to having just
relying on one thing
can really like mess up your life. So initially, you just have to like, if something's not going right in your agency, or if you don't feel like you're getting booked enough, then it's not your agency. At the end of the day, this is the hard truth. It's like agency, your agent is there to initially receive the bookings that you get, and then negotiate a fee for you. And that's it. An agency is not there to go out and look at you.
Do you think some people sometimes feel like an agency is like almost like, you know, you've been adopted by, and you've got a new family, like, you know?
I think it's like a level of delusion. When it comes to being signed. Because you think that, oh, now I'm signed, it's like, okay, everyone's gonna hit me up, Gucci's gonna come here, Prada's gonna come here. It doesn't happen like that. You have to like, especially in the way that now modeling is going into, perhaps maybe in like, let's say like the 2000s, it was more about like, you know, this jawline and just looking like aesthetically pleasing.
Having like a perfectly symmetrical face and all these
it's things.
Not like that
and
now.
Now it's all about characters. It's going back to the way it was in the 90s and the 80s. It's all about who is this model. Like, you know, back in the day before Instagram, everyone had to go, if you wanted to find out who a model was, you had to go pick up the latest magazines, and you would see there would only be like a few girls, maybe about 30 models overall who are the,
so to stand out, it's a lot harder.
Exactly. Back in the day. So you have to take notes from what they did back in the day. You have to look at that. You have to do your research and see what helped establish them as models. And it's about their character. So,
well, if we win the 80s, I would sign you. Okay, just so you know, I would sign you.
Thank you. You're the only agency too. But then.